One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Just want to make sure there is enough sound. Just want to make sure there is enough sound. Right. So I think everything is fine, 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 fine. So pretty good people. Good morning, good day, afternoon, and of course, good evening. Where you are watching us from? We are currently live from where I live, and this is where we are going to do our Monday analysis. We are going to do our Monday analysis, and I don't know if you are ready for the Monday analysis. I don't know if you are ready for the Monday analysis. The week has just started. Um, I'm sorry I'll not be using this computer for journaling. I know you'll be used to me journaling, and I think I also saw some requests, some people asking me to show them how I use Notion to journal, but I'm sorry for this class. Um, Due to one, two, three technical reason, I'll not be doing that. I'll not be doing that. But I hope you're going to enjoy the session together, and we see how God is going to help us. Now, the first pair we're going to look at this night is JBP JPY. I can see this how the chart looks like. Now, those who know me and know my style of trading, of late I've been updating this style over and over again, and I realized that my kind of trading does not warrant me looking in very high or very long time frame. All right, but anyway, clearly you can see in this JPY in the daily time frame, there is kind of a very weird gap that has been left here, and the way that whereby we just have a candle and there's no body here, just tweaking. But my kind of trading lately, I realized I'm not basing on that. My higher time frame happens to be only 4 hour time frame, because this is where I'm looking forward to get trades from. Now, clearly, when I come into the market, I want to look at two things. The first, I want to look at the swing high and the swing low, then be able to determine where the market is trading. That's what I'm interested to know in the long run, because I'm not looking forward to catch those big moves in the market. No, I just want to get reaction to those small moves. 30 to 45 pips should be enough for a typical trade. Now, if I come to this trade, I'm going to start by talking about this trade specifically. If I come to this trade, you're going to agree with me that in this trade, the last swing low you can see. Remember, I'm updating this strategy. I'm not so much interested to see where the market is heading to, because I want just to get short-term moves in the market. So I'm going to identify my swing low. I'm going to identify my swing low, and you're going to agree with me that this is the swing low, the low that we're able to see in this market. All right. Uh, I'd call it. Let me just write here swing low. Um, no, it looks like a stop loss. Let me write it properly. Like that. So that will become my swing low. and my swing high should be somewhere above there. Now let's see what the price is doing. The price is pushing up. Price pushing up. Of course, price failed to break above. What's this guy doing here? Allow me use the mouse. Sometimes using this keyboard giving me problems. So we are able to see what the price did. Get this low over here. I think I needed to adjust my position or something. Just a minute. So here you can see price failed to close above that particular zone, so I can just mark it like that. Price failed to close above that zone, something very interesting. Now if I look what's happening here, there was a fair value gap here. Let us just mark this fair value gap so that in case price react, you can use it as an inversion fair value gap. There was a fair value gap here. There was a fair value gap right over here. I don't want to write fair value gap. Okay, let me just write here. There's a fair value gap like that. So let's see what happened. Price came, it was reacting to the fair value gap, and with this sweep of liquidity over here. So the sweep happened somewhere over there. Is it my mouse or what's happening, guys? This is not that stable. So it took a small sweep of liquidity over there, and we saw price really pushing up. As you can see, price swept liquidity and really pushed up, but again swept liquidity here and failed to go above that. Now what's the interesting thing again we are seeing, you can see here there's kind of a gap. I don't know if this gap is visible, but I feel like there's a very big gap here. Okay, so I feel like here we have what we call new week opening gap. You understand that? So we have a gap over there, a new week opening gap. Now what market does in most cases, market would want to come and fill this gap here. Might want to see this gap getting filled before price maybe reacting back to the fair value gap. Now market might not fill this gap immediately, so we might want to see clear signs of market wanting to fill this particular gap. Now if we check how many pips to fill the gap, around 84 pips. So if you are a risky trader, we can look for some entries in the 1 hour time frame or 15 minutes. See if you can get some buys to fill the gap, because that's what I'm looking forward. Some buys to fill the gap before reacting perhaps to the downside. So let's look at 1 hour. Price not coming, still giving me that good impression. 30 minutes, yeah, 30 minutes. Let's do 15. Now can clearly see how big was the gap. Immediately the market opened, it tried to come to fill, but it did not fill. This one shows us clear that the gap was not filled. So this is 15 minutes time frame. So if we come there, we're having this low, we're having that particular low there, and price is coming above almost over here. So we have this candlestick here that I want it to act as a breaker like that. So if price comes closes above, you can end at the retest and try to see if you can get um, price to fill that particular gap. So this just those who want to scalp this trade. I'm just giving a zone for you to scalp this trade. If so, you need to scalp. But for my case, I'll not be able to be scalping this trade. I just wait for it to come and complete the particular move. So I'd want it to complete them. You can see there's a way to be sure that this market is coming to fill the gap is when this high is broken and price close above. So you might be able to scalp. Market will definitely close this position. So if you want some clean, let's see how many pips are here. 51. Actually, it meets our target. Actually, but if that one happens, we might be able to go in scalping in to get these pips to fill this move up to here, because market has to fill that. Now once that one is filled, you can now come back to a 4-hour time frame and try to anticipate where next this market want to go. It's coming, it has reacted on this fair value gap. We want to see if markets now wants to continue going up, but strongly think this market might get attracted to this such kind of inducements here. Although it's not automatic, because let's try to measure with fib tuone kama market ilipenya vizuri. If you check the fib, it was reacting on the 0.3 levels, which still is a reaction level, so it can actually just decide to go and go. So that's a trade we can be able to wait and capitalize on this move to fill the gap, right? Can wait to capitalize on this move to fill up this gap before anything else is mentioned on that particular trade. So that's what I'm having on JBP JPY for this night. That's what I'm going to be looking at this pair. So you see, these are trading range. All the way from here to here is our trading range. We're not interested look at what's happening along the whole market picture. You just have this range to see if you can get entries right over here and take those particular trades. When this gap is filled, we can be able to see how market's reacting here. If market gives us signs of a downtrend, we'll be able to take a short trade from here, targeting this low. All right? Yeah, so that will be up. It's upon waiting to see what the market wants to tell us. Now, if we come to UJ, uh, again, you know me how I do things. I don't want to look at the bigger picture because this 4 hour I consider to be my higher time frame. Market has pushed all the way from this low. Let me put something like a supply here. Market has pushed all the way from this particular from that particular low there, and is now reacting on this high. Now if I just try to look on the daily time frame to be able to see if something significant has happened. Now in the daily time frame, this was the last, can see how price was coming. This was the last high that was printed. It printed here at the last high that was visible. Try to hijack it but failed. Now let's see. Now if you look from this area of interest from the daily time frame, price has managed to close above it. So in time price closing above a zone like this one, can expect a retracement a little bit to facilitate a push. Now in this retracement, I think what I'm trying to see on the daily, which I'm not interested so much, it is a fair value gap that has just been tapped. but I'm not so much interested in that. Higher. So there is a whole zone for me here that I'm really interested in. Look at this whole zone. Overlapping fair value gaps. So these are zones that are really interested because we have a lot of overlapping fair value gaps. That all zone there is a zone that I'm really interested to see price reacting on it. All right. Then, another thing that I'm seeing so much interesting in this pair, I'm seeing my favorite move. Come here, or you consider a double top, fail to go up beyond that, and now it's coming down. So you might be able to see price maybe reacting to the neckline, which is a fair value gap here, then dropping further to this level here. As always, security check, we want to check, can it offer us some good opportunities? Oh yeah, more than 45. We're just looking for 45. So it means, yeah, if price manages to come back to a fair value gap over here, which again will facilitate kind of a weak opening. I think there's a gap there. There's a fair value gap over here. Let's put it down on paper. We have a fair value gap over there. And again, we have a weekly opening gap just above it. Just above it. So what I'm looking at in this particular market is just a completion of my pattern. A completion of this pattern. Then you're going to be so much bearish. All right. So let's go to the lower time frame and see if is there any opportunities of us taking trades on this pair. I'm not today journaling. I'm not writing them down because I'm using a different and I have not yet incorporated the two machines. This is 1 hour, paints a very good picture for us. Number one, in the 1 hour, I can see the gap is there with us. So price might really want to come to fill this one, but from my experience, price might not just go to fill, but it will eventually fill. So anytime you see the gap, it's not automatic price will just run to go and fill. All right, but we know that eventually it will come try to fill that. All right, so it tried to fill but failed, and now was dropping down. 1 hour does not paint a clear picture of the dropping. 15 minutes. Same thing as GJ, can have this push here, a push here, the move down. So of course we're going to have a small movement here, but this movement can only be confirmed once we break there. See if we can get a retest and ride to see if you can be able to get a tap to that zone. Are we together now? Try and fill that particular gap. So I just want to give some safe entries. Safe entries. Let me see if I can get you an entry on here. A safe entry. So safe entry, I'm still standing in solidarity with this part here. Having look at this breakout structure over here, where the price is currently, I'm still standing in solidarity with the break of this kind of a supply there. So I'm still standing in solidarity with that one. So when you see price tapping to the zone, if there can be a retest to a zone here, then we can be able to take our trade, targeting some few pips there. Targeting some few pips over there. Let's see if our criteria could be met. 45 is about here. So yeah, I can target just about here, which is a very good move. Are we together now? So you can go along there. We need to define now define with other some you know me, I just normally give you guys some overall. What's this? Oh, yeah. I normally give you some just overall tips. So it is upon you to refine it. Because it can give us a very good risk to reward. So it's upon you always to refine this and get your own nice entry. But I'm just giving an overview of what you're expecting to see this market's doing. So I have a very good buy there on this one, targeting that zone before dropping. And why are we targeting that zone? If you come back to the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see it's a zone that we're interested to see price coming back to before dropping. So it just is a combination. So I don't need to be able to say that, oh, price on a daily blah 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 or what have you, but those one are just enough to tell me what I'm supposed to be able to do. So you can be able to capture that retracement and perhaps see if you can utilize that move to make money. And here you have to be very careful, because especially with your entries, because it's a pullback, is a pull you're trading a pullback, so you need to be very careful with your entries. So long as when you bag in 2%, please take your partials. Take your partials. Sawa sawa. When you bag in 2% here, take partials, because this is a pullback, and pullback they can decide to end anytime. Right? So I've given you that. I'll not talk about CAD JPY because they more or less have same movement with USD JPY. So let's just leave this one alone. You can see movements the same thing. We had this one, now we had a pullback to the fair value gap here, and we have a gap that is here. Price might want to fill that gap. Actually, it will fill. Let's go to this guy. Now this one I did an analysis. I'm just going to walk you through the analysis. The way you know me, these are swing low. This is supposed to be a swing high, but price failed to close above it. So perhaps it wanted to tap the swing high, the swing low again. So we had a break of structure, maybe here, or maybe what you want to call it. It's not a change of character per se, because this is my low as far as I'm concerned. Then this is my high. So this is just an inducement that was taken here. An inducement taken. Inducement that was there. That has been taken successfully. The price came to break internal structure to the downside here. So I was looking at what price was really wanted to do at this particular level. Let me show you at this particular power of time. There was a very big fair value gap here, but price did justice to correct all of this fair value gap over here. Then now it was showing us signs that it really wants to go up after reacting from a fair value gap below it here. So it was showing us signs that it really wants to go up. But looking at what this price is doing right now, broke to the side like that one, come down. Here it's like it's failing on this zone. So you might see again an M pattern. If it completes, then you can now tap to clear this liquidity here, the way I just said. Are you together? I hope no one is getting lost here. So let's see, price is like reacting from this zone. There is this small zone over here. You can see price like reacting, respecting this particular zone here. I know some would say, oh, I'm seeing head and shoulder, head. So this is one shoulder, head, another shoulder. Then they don't say price would come come to the neckline. Of course, can be a possibility when once confirmed, once it breaks above that one zone, then we can shift our focus and start looking for some buys over here. Let's look at some buys over here. Let's see. 57 is more than 45. You can look at buys there targeting the zone just above it, but so long as when it breaks there. Okay, so I normally say trading is, we normally react to the market. We don't predict the market. We are reacting to what the market is telling us. Are we together now? All right. So of course, if it fails to do that, there's a small fair value gap over here. Price try to tap. I don't know if it tapped, but really, I think just try to tap there. Price was reacting on this fair value gap. It tapped on this fair value gap. So can be able to see what's going to happen there. Want to see if price really breaks above the zone. Let's see what's above the zone. This trade I was on this trade on Friday. You remember those I were in the last class. When price break this and close above here, we were able to take this trade around here. Just to trade at the close here, and of course, target was just here. Target was there. Stop loss was just about there. The trade that we clocked in. Actually, target was about here. This was the target there. So it's still, though I closed the trade, but let's see. The good thing is to wait and see. Right now we are reacting at this particular zone here, so I want to see if price maybe closes above the zone. Looking just below it, I'm unable to spot. I'm spotting that's a fair value gap. It's reacted from the 4 fair value gap. You can see there's a fair value gap here. Just get that whole of that region. I'll tell you why a little bit. Let me get a whole of this. So these are zone that if price primarily wants to fail to react here, you might see price coming to collect all these shenanigans to here before pushing up. So if it can do that, then you can be very happy. All right, because this just I normally say I normally do what the price tells me to do. This arrows does not mean anything, and this is why I want the price to go. No, this means how I'm anticipating, how I'm waiting. If it changes its mind, well and good. All right, well and good. But that's what I'm waiting to see so far. So let me ask you this one. Because this one, if you go to the daily time frame, you won't see anything. If you go to the weekly time frame, perhaps just one candle over here, because this was Tuesday last week, and this man. So I'm from here all the way to yes, just one candlestick. So that's why you see me not going to weekly, to whatever. I stopped doing that because I realized my style of trading is just for intraday purposes. Now this one should be almost correlated to this one. You can see this one is giving us those particular vibes. Now I was looking at this market yesterday night, before the market opened, and I was like, this pair has really done us justice, because it has come to this fair value gap over here, and it really broke this, showing us its willingness to continue going up. But now looking at this being a 4-hour time frame, and I'm seeing this kind of rejection at the same zone. I'm seeing kind of a formation of a rejection block, so it means I'm also interested. I'm kind of interested to see price breaking above that particular zone. And if this one, I'm going to look carefully on my right, and I want you also to see on my right, I'm seeing there is There is a support over here. This is support supply. There is a supply. This is a supply zone. This is supply zone. Let me just put like that. There's a supply zone in the forward time frame, a very big one. I think that's why price is really reacting. And one thing, you know how price moves, it moves from one liquidity level to the next one. So this supply might really try to push the price down from now supply, pushing down to another to collect this liquidity over here, which actually has been acting so well before pushing up again, right? So if market comes to push above this level here, you can expect a small retracement, and once we are there, you can take our buys targeting all over this high. So let's see how many pips. More than enough. We just need 40 something, which something about here, and we are good to go. So it's something we're going to see if market, that's what it wants to behave. If it has to respect that particular supply, then that's what thing we are expecting. We're expecting to see. That's one thing we are expecting to see at that particular instance. So okay. So let's continue. Going to expect that one. If you come to GJ, okay, GU cable has after playing for me for some time now, you see we had a very wonderful trades on on Friday, and actually I think we are buying almost from about over this particular point here, and it has moved so well. I think we are buying over somewhere here. I'll check. That's now printed so well. Uh, but cable has, I closed this trade because I did not want all this trade over the weekend. You can see this drop, and it has proved to us that it really wants to keep going up. It wants now to recover. But now here, I want us to be very, very careful. There's a zone I marked over here. Let us see something on the 1 hour time frame. That's the last realistic push to the downside. Um, Even if I put here, we had a very complete break of market structure shift. Because this was a break of structure. Um, I feel cable is so much determined in making me suffer. Because tell me why all of a sudden cable seems to be so much unpredictable. But anyway, After market such a shift, we saw how market was reacting on these particular zones over here. So this one becomes our just immediate low, because you can see, of course, there is something more likely less like a liquidity sweep over here that this market was trying to do. Okay, I'll call this more or less like thing like a liquidity sweep. Then market printed to us this low and this high, but in between here market has, there's a complete fair value gap here which has not been filled. After looking at it, then cable using fib, the very correct move for cable so that we can assure us is a complete pull down. You can drop again, can get a very good entry on it, but right now it's still in the process of playing a minds with us. Cable, which is not the right thing to do, especially for the doctor of Forex himself. You can't be doing this to me. Please drop. So you can clearly see there is that drop. Now, in all this, I think tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, we might see that drop, that correction drop before moving up. And the same way we can see that rise in USD JPY before the market drops vizuri. So these are the possibility. Cable, it has a lot of pips. I'm looking forward to it. So if it plays, I think I'll not miss. These are like 100, and I'll not miss somewhere 45 pips just from you. I know that, right? So that's what you're doing, trying to check. His counterpart did manage actually to close above the knee, above the barrier that we had put for her. I don't know why I don't know why I'm better. If it's, I don't know if it's only me, but I'm used to refer to Euro USD as a lady and GBP USD as a man. I find myself referring to them like that. Euro USD, there's a fair value gap. I was hoping that should come to the fair value gap. She didn't, but she's reacting from, I think, a higher time frame trend line. Consider the trend line. This trend line here is where she's reacting from. Can see like that. So she's been respecting the trend line. The fact that there are many multiple charges here, another multiple touches. Now she has come to touch at it again. So confirms one thing, perhaps she really wants to continue going up. Okay, but dangerously, just dangerously. You get it? Dangerously. So at this particular moment, I don't trust Euro USD for some time, for some reasons, especially at the zone where it is right now. I don't really want to trust it that much. So this zone, let me just show you something. This has been a very strong zone. It has been a very strong zone, even if you look to the, even if you try to look to the what to the left, it has been a very strong zone. So seeing cable coming down up a little bit, leave alone those particular thing, that was that news, and now going up. I think it's completing even the pattern. Huh? Yeah, we might see a move. We might see a move going up. Actually, we may see a move cause, believe you me, there was a sweep. Price. Okay, leave alone this thing here. Even if you're going to look at it, it is sweep. But I think this is just news. I don't do news. It really ruined my structure there. There is a sweep. There's a close above. My pattern is just played out in the forward time frame. And if you're looking at, if you're the pattern guys, again, I think there's a shoulder ahead which sweeps below. Tap the knee, another shoulder. Now here, going to come back to the neckline over here and push. So I don't want to overthink on this one. I'm just going to create my zone. Now that I know it has closed above that particular zone, what do I do? It is to get if you can get a small zone over here. So you have a zone over there. There's a fair value gap up below here. Try to fill. Right. So what I'm thinking is that if you can get an entry over here, don't make an entry for forward time frame. I don't do this always, but I'm just trying to show you this for illustration. Um, oh, guys, tell me no. No, we have to see. Let's see. Might see price coming to sweep this. Might see that, or might see that, but let's see this one. Let's see. Let's watch out for the completion of the head and shoulder pattern. Because looking at the internal structure, which is in the 1 hour time frame, we had a break of structure here. Now there is price coming to complete this fair value gap. So let's wait and see if you can be able to see this fulfillment. I normally like when I'm seeing something like this. Price always tries to convince me to come. Oh, it came. It came already. You can see it came. So let's see how this retracement would end. Careful always. These are very uh, interesting pair to be very careful while trading it. Yeah. Card, of course, again, I had some other reservation for it. I saw this as my low and my high. Price failed to come to this particular low. Um, we saw a break of structure here, internal structure. Price came down. It came back to try and test this area. You can see it's an area of inefficiency, CB. Price tried to react here. Now it's leaving this zone, like very massively leaving. So we might be able to see if you can take advantage of this move to sweep this low. How many pips? Let me tell you if you're going to take advantage. 77 pips, a very good move distance. So if you can get advantage, as long as you know why you are trading. This thing, the good thing is know why you are entering. So here, market sweeping below. Let me see. Market sweeping below it, below that particular zone. And now market, okay, okay, this pair, I'm skeptical about it in as much as it's still fine. You can get some sales over here, but I don't like this kind of nini. You see this accumulation here, this accumulation, market can try to manipulate and goes up with you. So I don't like this particular thing that I'm seeing over here. It's not healthy for me. So I'd say that one a clean no. Right? But if you are a risk taker, you keep on sell until you see, until you are tired, but at least collect this low. But anyway, we stick to the idea, the main idea here. The main idea is we want to see price coming to collect this, then we wait for the next potential. You can see these cards. Um, they are generally in a, we have a very big. It was just filling this gap, and now price. Oh my God, sorry. Now price is kind of stuck here, so not the best of the best setup to take. Just an a small. Yeah, where I am. Kwani niko wapi? This is NSD card. Can see NSD almost the same thing. We wanted to see price. See, circulating, it printed down to this low and all the way break structure to the up here, and now it was reacting to the low. We saw it coming down, break here. It's now coming to get rid of this low here. Want to see what's happening, then we wait. So guys, I think I've given you everything that you need to be having. Like it, someone will, is anyone having anyone coming to complain? Will have, I don't trade this pair yet. I'm Jisumbwe Niuliza, I don't trade that. That is gold. Kenakal CHF our don't even have time to look for that guy. Guys, what happened? Oh, these guys, they rearrange themselves. Look at these pairs. How dare you arrange yourselves in my watch list? They have rearranged themselves alphabetically. This one is on a downtrend. Now, those know you have been trading some CHF for some time now, but I realize many of them, they reached their all-time low. So if a pair comes to its all-time low, what do? You are limited in terms of moves. So that's why I left the card JPYs. Okay, that is it for today. I don't see if I'm having any more major development in the news or in the market. Let's wake up early in the morning to try and see if there is anything we can be able to spot. Okay, remember the early bird catches the worm. Right now the market is just about to close, and sometimes when it's just about to close in the next like 55 minutes, at times we might be able to experience crazy movements. So it is very important to consider that. So market's now just about to close, so we don't want to get ourselves in some crazy things. So let the market close open at least in the first 4 candlestick to close, maybe at about 4 we can be on at 4, so that we look at maybe niko online. So guys, see you in the next one. Have a good one. Have a good night. Let's wake up early in the morning and perhaps get to interact. Bye.